Dear students, in the supplementary reader, the fifth chapter is Footprints Without Feet. As the title suggests, Footprints Without Feet is a story which is based on science fiction, and the prolific and the versatile writer is H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells is very famous for his writings, and this story has been taken from his science fiction, The Invisible Man. In this story, there is a brilliant scientist whose name is Griffin. He invented a rare drug. He discovered a rare drug by which swelling human body could become invisible, and the two boys who are surprised to see the footprints of a man who was not visible. They chased him in the street of London, but when the muddy imprints became fainter and fainter, at last the muddy footprints disappeared altogether, and the boys were not took the scientist. The boys did not catch the scientist who had just become invisible by swallowing a rare drug. They were very surprised to see the mystery of imprints of a man who was not visible, but his footprints were there. Griffin, as you know, that was the name of the scientist. He was very brilliant, no doubt, but he was very eccentric. He was mad scientist in the sense that he misused his discovery. He did not take it in the right way, and when he became invisible, he took the rule, he took the law in his hands. He became lawless, and he just set fire to the house of the landowner who did not like him. He wanted to eject him. That is why he set fire on house, and he became clothless. He became homeless wanderer in the mid winter, and to escape from cold weather, cold winter, he entered a big London store to just make him comfortable by wearing clothes. He entered a departmental store, and it was the closing time. When the shop was shut, he fitted himself with warm clothes, ate delicious food, and also drank wine from the grocery store, He slept on the pile of quilts, but he did not wake up in time. And when the assistants came the next morning, they saw him and naturally they gave him chase. He just ran away from there, and by removing his clothes one by one, he became once again invisible. And he went there in a theatrical company. He went in the theatrical company and fitted himself with bandages, spectacles, big bushy side whiskers, and false nose. And from behind, he callously, mercilessly attacked the shopkeeper and robbed his money. Once again, he was a lawless person because he took away the property of other without any permission. From there, he decided to go to Iping, and when he went there in chill winter, he booked 2 rooms there, and all the people were surprised because he was single and he booked 2 rooms, and they talked about him, how he could manage there. The landlord, the inn owner, Mr. and Mrs. Hall, tried to be friendly with the scientist, but he did not like Mrs. Hall's behavior because he told her that he had come there for solitude, for loneliness, because the accident had affected him and he wanted to take a rest. So he gave her the rent in advance. That is why she was ready to forgive her excuses. The money which was robbed did not last long, and then he decided to steal in the clergyman's house. And when the clergyman's house was robbed, everybody suspected the brilliant scientist, so that he was ready cash. Before that, he was no any cash, and everyone suspected Griffin as thief. When Mrs. Hall went into the house, into the room of Griffin, he became very furious and he tried to beat her with the help of the bedroom chair, which became alive. Some of the people suspected that it was caused by the witchcraft. So she just called secretly the village constable, Mr. Jaffers. When he came, the scientist removed his bandages around his head and he became headless. And Mr. Jaffers tried to arrest a man who was headless, but he was a very competent man. He was a very dutiful man, and he was ready, but Griffin blew him down unconscious, and everybody tried to catch him, but it was easier to say than to do. So far as the actions of Griffin are concerned, they were not lawful, they were lawless. Wherever he went, he trickled, he just made his discovery misuse and tried to do the wrong thing. And at the end, he was able to free himself by removing his clothes, and once again he became invisible and escaped from Mrs. Hall's inn. So this is the story which has been presented by Mr. H.G. Wells in his famous novel The Invisible Man, and from that novel the story Footprints Without Feet has been taken, and the supplementary reader has been named after this story. This is very famous story. This is a science fiction story, and from this chapter you have understood and you have to answer some of the questions. First question is, who was Griffin? And the second question is, how did he become invisible? Third question is, what was the curious episode that took place in the clergyman's study? And the fourth question is, what do you think about Griffin as a scientist? No doubt he was a brilliant scientist, but on the other hand he was a lawless person, because 4 or 5 times he just took the system in his own hands. He did not just follow the system, he just broke the system. And the fifth question is the long question. Griffin was rather a lawless person. Justify your answer in the context of the story Footprints Without Feet. And in this answer, you have to write all the instances which were violated by Griffin to just make himself invisible. And after that, he became invisible. What he did and what the impression were on the other is the answer of this question. So dear students, just subscribe my channel, and whenever I will put you new video, you will just know about my channel. And so far as this story is concerned, you are suggested to go through the chapter again and again and listen my video and study my PDF which have been sent earlier. I think you are enjoying, and take care of your health. Have a nice day. Dear students, the name of the YouTube channel is Lakhinder Kumar Singh, and join my channel, subscribe it, and enjoy your study. Thanks.